What's going on, folks? Have you ever had a problem with your refrigerator where for some reason it's just not getting cold, and when you look up inside of your freezer there's a whole lot of frost and stuff that's built up all on the back of your freezer? The problem that you're probably having is a defrost issue, which means that pretty much that the heating coil that's behind your freezer part is not coming on correctly to melt off the ice and stuff that's building up back there behind it. So normally when you have this issue, there's a couple of different things it could be. It could be your timer that's not working correctly, that's in your refrigerator part, or it could be your actual thermostat, which you have pretty much behind here, right here. I'm going to show you first of all what you can do to test and see if your timer or not is the problem. If your timer is the issue, when you manually put it into defrost, what should happen is you'll see your heating coils come on and basically start melting the ice. But to be able to see your heating coils, first thing you gotta do basically is remove all this inside of your freezer so you can see that. And if you can see right here, I've already had this one out. This is a Whirlpool. You'll normally have like some little white tabs that'll go right here. You see that white tab? You normally have like these little white tabs right here that'll go in the front. You have one here, you'll have one over here, and once you've took those out, you'll have some screws. You'll have one goes right here. Normally they're just some basic screws that'll look like this. You'll have one right here, you'll have one right here. You want to take that off, and once you take those out, you'll be able to actually remove this whole bottom plate. I already have this loose, so when I remove this bottom plate, the top part's going to come down. So here, hold this top part up. Just remove the bottom plate. So I'm removing that bottom plate. And see, once that bottom plate's removed, now you can kind of see all this stuff. You'll have a couple different things. This right here is actually your heating coil right here, as you can see right here. But to remove this, you got to remove this side, please. You may also have a couple screws over the side right here I've already had loose, pretty much right here, that I've already taken out to take out the ice maker that I've already taken out. So you'll take out two screws over there, maybe one at the bottom where it goes up inside of your ice maker. And this right here is your heater coil right here, which should technically heat up to melt the ice off of it. So, but now that you have this done, what you can do is you can actually put your refrigerator into defrost mode. And to do this, like I said, I recommend you have your refrigerator turned off until you have all this disconnected. And once you have it disconnected, then you go ahead and have it like this, make sure nothing's touching, and then plug it back up, and then you could come to the inside of your refrigerator. Let me show you how you put it into defrost. Let me see that flathead. Now what you're going to be doing is taking a flathead, and if you can see, there's a circle hole right here. And you will be taking your screwdriver, there's a timer in there. You want to put it inside of there. You want to turn it really slowly. You'll hear like clicks. You hear those little clicks? And once it's in defrost, you'll know because everything will cut off. So you just want to turn it slow, click by click. Yeah, I'm turning it. And you'll know when it goes into defrost mode. See how everything went off? Now what should happen is, if your timer is the problem, what should happen is now you should see this right here come on and start melting the ice that you see on here off of here. And if you don't see that happen, then most likely what your issue will be, most likely is going to be your thermos. You have a small thermos that sits on the back, a defrost thermostat that sits on the back. Give me the old one, which I've already taken off. You see where I have these two wire nut sets? Because I cut the old one off. It's going to look like this. This is a defrost thermos right here that goes to a Whirlpool. So a thermostat. This is a defrost thermostat right here that goes to the Whirlpool. And it pretty much sits right back there. in the corner back over there. That's where it sets at. Hold on. Here, give me some light in here. Alright, if you can see, this sets right here. This thermostat sets right on top of this wire right here. Right on top of there like that. It sets. It's supposed to be connected to this right here. I've already cut it off so I can replace it with the new one. So like I said, if you basically turn and you give it a second to see if it starts defrosting or not from your from your timer. And if it does start to defrost back here and it gets kind of hot, then what that means is that your timer is bad and you'll have to replace your timer, which is that part down in your refrigerator I was turning. And if it doesn't start to defrost, that means most likely that your defrost thermostat right here is what's bad. You'll need to basically cut it off and then splice in a new one and then connect it right back up pretty much. Alright folks, so basically I've cut off the old thermostat right here, the defrost thermostat, which I believe is the issue. Now I'm just splicing in a new one. All I did was just cut this one and then strip the wires back with some wire strippers or something. And you want to match up the color scheme. This one was like a brown to brown, and I'm gonna put pink to pink. I'm just taking the wires and screwing together like that. And once I have them nice and tight, then what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take some wire nuts. Take some wire nuts and put them on there nice and tight. Yeah, I'm putting them on there nice and tight. Then I'm going to go ahead and take some electrical tape and just completely wrap that. I'm going to go ahead and take some electrical tape and just wrap it around her to make sure that's nice and together. Like I said, you can get these thermostats. I mean, these they're not super cheap. I mean, like this one was around $27 for it, but if this is your issue, it's a lot cheaper to buy this than it would be to go out and buy a whole new refrigerator pretty much and freezer. So I would definitely say try this first, and even if you can't do it yourself, to go ahead and call somebody in and have them look at it. Most likely they'll be able to figure out what's wrong, and it could just be this thermostat that's bad. Or, like I said, possibly a timer. That may be a little bit more expensive, but it's still going to be a lot cheaper than pretty much buying a whole new refrigerator. So, okay, now I got that covered up. Now, this piece right here was just setting. As you can see right here. Alright, folks, you can see right now I got it back on. This is your thermostat I just put on right here. It's kind of just sits on top of this pipe right here with that little bottom piece that kind of sits on there and presses down on it. Now that I got everything back on, now I'm going to go ahead and make sure everything's connected back up properly, and then go ahead and test the refrigerator, see if it's working right. Alright folks, once again, this is probably the issue you may be having if you have a refrigerator that's getting warm, and when you look in your freezer, it's a whole lot of frost and ice built up on the back of it. Most likely, either you have an issue with your timer, or either you have an issue with your defrost thermostat, which is this right here, that you may want to change out. Alright, please check out our other helpful videos. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks. Would be you would do with your fan. Say your fan stops blowing or something like that inside your freezer. It's just how also you would get to your fan. And if that's not the case, if the thermostat, you've changed that out, as well as a timer, and it still doesn't work, that means now you have an issue with your actual heating element part itself. You'll have to probably get that looked at.